Hi everyone, I'm Laura. Today we're going to be working through our practice to balance all 5 of the elements. This is a wonderful way to work on all 5 of the elements instead of just focusing in on one, because we all have all 5 within us and we really can start to notice our relationship with each of the different elements and each of the different affirmations. So we're going to do a pose or a movement plus an affirmation for each of the 5 elements, working from earth up to ether and then from ether down to earth, so we have a completely balanced element system at the end of this practice. We're going to start down on the belly, placing yourself carefully onto the mat, feeling all the support as we connect to the earth element here. And you can stack your hands in such a way that your head can rest. Take a slow exhale. Sinking into the support of your mat, the support of the earth underneath it. Becoming aware of gravity as your settling force. And then in the mind or out loud, saying our earth element affirmation. In this moment, I am safe and supported. In this moment, I am safe and supported. Taking one more breath, really enjoying that feeling of support for the whole body. Soaking in the meaning of that affirmation. Then moving up to the water element. We're going to bring our hands underneath the shoulders to a nice low cobra. And we'll start to wave through the spine and up through the neck, lifting up and lowering down. Making that movement slow and fluid, drawing in those characteristics of the water element. And maybe starting to bring that over to the side. See how your spine is feeling today. Water is a bit more free form, more flowing. And as you work through those undulations of the spine and of the neck, we remind ourselves of our affirmation for water element. I am fluid and flowing like water. In this moment, I am fluid and flowing like water. Good, pressing into the hands and making your way up through table. Going up to the fire element, bringing your attention to the center of the body, the solar plexus. And we'll start by pushing the floor away into your cat pose. So I'll give you that as your first option. A very strong cat pose, pushing into the hands, pushing the knees down into the mat to scoop up through the belly. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, scoop and draw up. Okay, so second option there is maybe doing the same thing in a high plank. We'll do our cat plank. Up onto the toes, scoop and lift through the belly. Flatten out. As you're working through that movement, generating heat and energy in the center, we come to our affirmation to connect to fire element in the mind. I am capable of creating change. I am capable of creating change. Take one more movement there. Feel the effort. Good. Okay. So whatever is the easiest way to step a foot forward, we'll start with the left foot, or I'm going to start with the left foot, to come up into a warrior two. From fire, we're moving up to the air element. Awareness around the heart, the arms, and the throat. Very strong connection to our breath as that vayu, that wind. And we start to sweep through a very soft and creative, flowing, dancing warrior. Really allowing yourself that space for creativity. You're not following a template. You're allowing creative, free-form expression. Bringing in our mantra, I am free-flowing like the wind. I am free-flowing like the wind. One more sweep. And then as you come back through center, we're going to switch over to the other side, right? Because this is a two-sider. And you find your warrior two on the other side. So you get a bonus here. Doing a little flap with the arms, like they are very light, delicate wings. And then go right into that dancing warrior sequence. Free flowing. I am free like the wind. See where your body is asking for movement and bring that quality of moving air, light, free-form motion into that space. I am free like the wind. Last one. We open into the middle. Really wide stance here. Arms are open out to the sides. Gaze is up. We move to the ether element, awareness at the third eye and the crown of the head. Upward lift, very open and spacious. And our movement here is an upward spiral. So we're going to weight shift to the side, spiral up through the fingers, come back to the center, big expansive pose, spiral to the other side. Not going too fast, we don't want to get dizzy here. And give yourself time to feel the expansion in the center and feel the expansion into that upward spiral. The spiral is going from your back foot through your hips, through your trunk, through your arms and your head. It's So it is a full body experience. See where you can feel that turning and upward lift through the body. And we'll come into our affirmation. I am guided by intuition. Feel that expansion, that openness. I am guided by intuition. Come back through the center, open, expand, lightness. Feel the connection to your inner layer of wisdom. It's always there. You can work your way down when you need some guidance. I'll start to bring the feet a bit closer together. And we're going to bring the hands into this steeple position with the index fingers straight up, reaching the arms up overhead as straight as they will go comfortably, depending on how your shoulders are feeling today. And I'll give you two options. So you can circle through the arms above your head. So there's this strong awareness at the crown, the connection to whatever you know to be above you. Or if your spine is feeling pretty good and you want to create a torso circle, coming out and around. Feeling the upward lift as you circle around. I am connected to my inner wisdom. Take a pause at the center, upward lift, switch directions. I am connected to my inner wisdom. Bring that to the center, a little bit more upward lift. Big inhale, hold it at the top. Feel that fullness in your breath, that upward lift, light, expansive. Exhale, let it go. Taking a pause to notice how you feel now that we've worked through all five and we're circling back, working our way down. From the ether element coming back down to the air element, that light flowing attention to motion with a little bit of balance. And we're going to do a dynamic balance, a moving experience of balance, which is trickier. So if you need a counter or a wall or a chair to hold on to, definitely do that. So we're going to kick the left leg back so that the big toe is our balance point. And we become this balancing stick. The hinge is our hip, our standing hip. Start to lean forward, coming straight out, warrior three. Lengthen in opposite directions, root down through your foot, and then tip forward. The hands can find the mat for a bit of support. Inhale, slowly make your way back up into that balancing stick. Okay, so there's going to be some wobbling. Embrace the wobbling. That is part of the movement experience. And we remind ourselves, I am free like the wind. Free to wobble. I am free like the wind. And maybe the arms start to become a bit more flowy and expressive. very light, very fluid. I am free like the wind. All right, so you may have guessed that this is a twofer. We have to switch and do the other side. And the other side might feel quite different, right? Balance can vary quite significantly from one side to the other. So there's some things to be learned here about our movement. Tipping over, coming back up. I am free like the wind. So there's no set formula that you have to follow. There's a bit of creative space for you to work with. As you lift and lower, feeling that lightness and freedom, you get to put your own flair on that movement. Feeling your body moving through the open space, the air against your skin. Last time, tipping over and coming back up. Good. So we're going to make our way down onto the mat into a quadruped position, all fours. We start to draw our attention back down to the center toward the solar plexus. Maybe even visualizing your inner fire that we are going to support to burn brighter and stronger. So we reach out into this balancing table. As you exhale, elbow and knee are going to meet with a nice strong exhale. So we're connecting the air element and the fire element, that very important relationship. I am capable of creating change. Good. Pause for a moment. Feel the heat, the energy that's created, even with just a little bit of that movement. It doesn't take much. Feel where the effort was coming from. Okay, other side. Stretch the arm and the leg long. Start to connect to that awareness in the center. Exhale, elbow to knee. I am capable of creating change. Good, last one. Feel the brightness and the warmth from that strong, healthy inner fire, our source of energy, motivation, and change, transformation. And we bring that with us as we come around to make our way back down toward the mat with a bit of cooling with the water element. Rolling down through your spine. Placing your shoulders carefully into the mat. Slowing your pace down when we go from ether and air, which are a little quick and free form, down to fire, which is a bit slower but more powerful, and then water, very slow, making our way down toward that stillness. So no rushing as we go through this spine rolling, you're going to tip your pelvis back, flatten your low belly, and flatten your lower spine into the mat. Start to peel up from your tailbone, from your lower back, from your middle back, and maybe towards your upper back. See how high it feels comfortable for you to come up. Make sure your knees are happy with your foot position. You might have to rearrange. Now we wave from the top to the bottom, down through the chest, the upper ribs, the lower ribs, the back, and finally the pelvis. When you release, there's going to be a natural arch under your back. I'll hold my arms out of the way just so you can see better. You can keep your arms resting carefully at your sides. So we tip back, posterior pelvic tilt, lift from the base of the tailbone as slowly as you can with full concentration. Connect to that fluid movement. Roll it down. The slower the better. I am fluid and flowing like water. I am fluid and flowing like water. Notice if you start to lean back into that tendency to rush, or if you start to find what we call blind spots in the body, and this is where you feel like the mind and that muscle doesn't have a very good connection. You're kind of trying to figure out, how do I get that to move? And that's actually a wonderful space to work in, because it means you're creating change on a neurological level. Our brain is fluid and changing. Neuroplasticity. I am fluid and flowing like water. Connect to that sense of adaptation. But just reminding yourself that that change and that adaptation can come with some struggle and discomfort. That is part of the experience. Okay, let your pelvis drop down after your next round. We'll slide the hips from side to side. Make sure you haven't accumulated any tension around the hip rotators. And we come down to the fifth and final element, the earth element. The experience of support. And we're going to use our deep relaxation as our experience of connecting with this final piece of our practice. Whatever shape you decide to place your body into, but just make sure that especially the pelvis feels very planted, because there's our connection to the root chakra, that earth energy. You may even want to take your hands and place them over the low part of the pelvis. Connecting to that sense of grounding. Slow the breath down. Letting go of feeling like you have to move or do anything. Sinking into that experience of being. Just being here. In this moment, I am safe and supported. In this moment, I am safe and supported. allowing your breath to soften completely. And we'll soak in this experience of deep, deep rest. Bringing your deep breath back, connecting to that feeling of expansion, drawing in the air element and all of the vitality and prana that comes along with it. Wiggling fingers and toes, bringing back the movement of the air element, but without rushing. We are balanced by earth and water, so there is no need to rush. Taking any movements that your body is asking for to make this transition. When you're ready, come up to sitting. Pausing for a moment to allow yourself to notice and learn. Taking your attention and shifting it in. Asking yourself with a kind and curious voice, how do I feel right now? Gathering all of that information with you and letting it help you to decide where the rest of your day is going to go. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice of working through the 5 elements. I will see you in the next one.